camera guy. I want to do a video about decluttering. Do you want to go through your things? I see that you found some things you want to get rid of, camera guy, but I really think we should keep some of your brushes. Hey, it's Sparkles. Glad you're here to join me today. For today's journey, I want to talk to you about decluttering the fun, easy, and maybe a little weird way. Because you probably watched a few videos on how to declutter your home. Maybe your pantry is a little messy and you're looking for ideas. So come with me today. I'm going to walk you through a different way to declutter and try to get you to think a little differently about decluttering itself. So we're all on a journey, and I'm here to try to help you make yours better. Let's get into it. As you're decluttering, you also have to remember the other people that live in your life. Now, one thing that bothers me with clutter is my flat surfaces. But I live with other people. I have a wonderful husband and daughter, plus the camera guy, our fur baby. So some of this mess isn't mine. I have to be mindful. I have to be mindful because my husband is the type of person, if it's out of sight, it's out of mind. And I'm the type of person who wants to have a place for everything and everything in its place. But if you are sharing your space with someone else, you have to be respectful of how they do things. You can definitely support them. You know, if they're a little bit less tidy than you are, my husband has places that his things can go. So if I do move his things, he knows where I would have put them. There's lots of ways to declutter. There's the poop method. If this had poop on it, would I keep it? There's the death cleaning. If I expired tomorrow, does my family want to go through this? There's the whirlwind method where you run around the house and grab everything you can and throw it in a box before you have time to think about it. There's also the maybe box. Maybe you're going to get rid of it. You have a box of things that you're unsure on. That's okay. Find what works for you. For me, what works is starting off with a goal and then working towards that goal. I am more about progress than perfection. And don't let anyone tell you what your house has to look like. We have all these magazines, Better Homes Than Yours, where these immaculate houses that look like they're not lived in. Maybe that's an idea that you want to have a house like that, but you don't realize how much work that's going to be. I would prefer a house that's lived in and full of love than to have a house that looks like a movie set. But I know that if I start small, I'll get much farther than if I beat myself up and force myself to do hours of decluttering. Your brain can't even handle that. Your brain's going to give out and you're going to be overwhelmed. Start small. So first off, ask yourself why. Why do I want to do this? Because if it's just because somebody else wants you to go through your things and organize them and straighten them, you're going to fight it all the way. You may do it, but you're not going to keep up with it. You're not going to be happy while you're doing it. So let's do something different. Let's try to find some fun in decluttering. And if you're not ready for that journey, don't let anyone force you. There's no clutter police going to come and take away your stuff. If you don't mind living in clutter, then don't feel guilty that your house doesn't look like a magazine. It's your house. And maybe you're not ready to let go of things. That's okay. That's your journey. Don't feel guilty. Don't feel bad about yourself. Let's just take this one thing at a time. And before you buy any more containers to organize, you know you've got all the different size bins. You needed all the different jars. Before you do that, just start decluttering, because you don't know what you're going to need until later. Because when you focus on just picking out what you know you can get rid of, you don't have to think as hard. I know I can let this go back to the universe. Maybe it's only one thing, but it's one less thing in the drawer. And if you keep doing this and you keep going through, eventually you'll get down to where there's not nearly as much to go through, and then you can make the hard decisions. So even though I have a whole pantry that I could go through, For today, I'm just going to pick one shelf, the top shelf. The shelf that I rarely can reach, but today is the day. I'm going to take everything off the shelf, set it on the counter, and go through it. And now that I got everything out of that shelf, now it's time to clean. You always want to clean as you go. And if you're short like me, maybe you have to get on the step stool to clean your pantry. Now, if you are working in the kitchen, a pro tip, and it may make your house look like everything came from the food pantry, but for myself, I use a Sharpie and I put the date that something's going to expire on the top of it. That way I know next time I go through the pantry which items to put to the front of the pantry. And you can also have a list of things that are expiring soon. That way you know what you need to use up. In my pantry, I have a list. You can get these little things from Walmart. All they are is a sticky dry erase board. So I put my dinner ideas with all the different ingredients that we have on it. And if we have stuff that we need to use up so it doesn't expire, it's right there in front of me. And it kind of helps me keep the clutter down and to make sure we don't waste any of our food. And as you're decluttering and going through things, think about the most sense for your things. Like where do these belong? How often do I use them? If you use the flour and sugar and maybe the Crisco a lot, you don't want that hiding. You want that out where you can find it. And if you're a camera guy, you want to be sure that your people can find your treats every morning. And if you love coffee, you want to be sure your coffee and your filters are together. So it's organizing it the way it makes sense to you. It may not make sense to anyone else, but as long as your system works for you, then it's the best system. So it's organized now. It definitely looks better. I have things together that go together, like camera guy loves peanut butter. He uses the most peanut butter in the house, so it makes sense to be next to his goodies. My baking stuff is together, and my most important coffee is right there where I need it. Clutter sneaks up on you. It starts off simple, but what happens? We attach feelings to our things. To everyone else, it's just a thing. But to you, it maybe represents your past, your future, or who you are now, or who you think you're going to be in the future. So our things have feelings. Sounds kind of silly, right? Like things don't have feelings. But what happens is we get something, maybe a mug, and maybe someone special gave it to you. Or maybe it's just your favorite. This is my everyday coffee mug that I use at home. Well then, I got this one. My husband specially painted this one just for me. So it's special to me. I don't want to get rid of it. So this is my work coffee cup. It's just home for a good cleaning. And then there's future you. So past me thought that future me was going to need this to go hiking. And my husband got me a cool sticker with my name on it. So I don't want to get rid of this one. And then I have this one that my husband glitter painted and got me a sticker. And then I realized that I wanted one that had a different kind of lid so that I could do this with it. Because this one, if you did this with it, would leak. And then I wanted one for off-roading because I can't take my pink one off-roading. What if it gets dirty? So I needed one for off-roading. And that's how it starts, right? You have one thing, and then all of a sudden it has friends. And you think that you're going to use every one of them, but you probably aren't. Like this. I got a happy planner on clearance once, and then I started seeing all kinds of happy planner stuff on clearance. In fact, past me thought future me was going to use happy planners so much that pretty soon I had a whole family of happy planner stuff. What about the "I might need it someday"? That's kind of a dangerous phrase, right? Because you might need anything in your house someday. Maybe you were into crafts, so you bought the stuff you needed to do that craft. I have a hot glue gun, I have some paint, I have some jars. But am I ever going to make another jar? Am I going to make a really cool dish soap dispenser? Am I going to make another dispenser for my hand soap? I don't know. And that's where we get stuck, right? We think future us, we might do that. And then we have "I might need it someday." I mean, this mess is really organized. This is all cords that I might need someday that go to something. And past me was even nice enough to put a little label on them. So at one point, I really thought I needed to hang on to this. I don't even use this to charge my lights. I use something else. And the worst part is if you don't label all these, then you really don't know what they're for. But what happens is this has an odd end on it. It goes to something. If I get rid of this weird cord, what if I need it? Sometimes we hang on to things because of the memories that we attach to them. But you have to ask yourself, what's more important? Those memories of things and things in the past, or your freedom to know where your things are and be able to find them? This jean jacket for a very long time, and I think I'm ready to give it back to the universe so someone else can enjoy it. But what makes it special to me is the memories. See, I have memories, I don't know if I can find a picture, but I have memories of when I could barely button this jacket. And when I got this jacket, my husband and I were financially challenged. I had to make 4 easy payments at probably way more interest than I care to think about on a credit card just to get this jacket. But I wanted it. And now it's too big for me, which is good. I released the weight that I wanted to release. But it's just a jean jacket. Maybe you have those things in your house. And I'm not here to tell you to get rid of things that are sentimental. I'm just asking you to think about what makes them so special. And if you're hanging on to stuff to give to your children, grandchildren, maybe grandchildren that haven't even been born yet, you don't even know if they're going to want it. Sure, they may take it, be polite, and then have junk at their house. If there's someone in your family that wants something that you have, the best thing to do is to give it to them while they're alive. Maybe you have something you can bless somebody else with that they're going to love. A long time ago, my mother-in-law had some dishes. I wanted them. Not because they were anything special, but because my husband had memories of his grandmother using those bowls and of his mother using those bowls. Finally, I just asked her, could I have those? And these bowls here are nothing special, but they're special to our family. And we use these several times a week. And most of all, they bring joy to our family when we cook. But at the end of the day, they're just bowls. And everything in your home is like that. It has no meaning unless you give it meaning. And I am so grateful my mother-in-law let us have these to use and enjoy, because she wasn't enjoying them. And that's the thing. All your stuff that you're not enjoying, there's probably someone out there that wants that same item, that would use it all the time. Because we buy things for future us, and we hang on to things that are the past us. So how do you make decluttering fun, right? You need to change it from a chore to a challenge. I'm challenging you to decide today, 1, is decluttering important to you? You don't have to have a house that looks like better homes than yours. It's your house. Then where are you going to put this stuff? Are you going to sell it? Are you going to list it online? Are you going to take it to the thrift store? Are you going to try to give it to a friend? Once you've decided it's important to you, start small. Maybe start with the method where you just remove something, because it's much easier to take things away than it is to go through an entire cabinet or drawer. What if you just take out one thing today? And challenge yourself. Maybe set the timer. What can I accomplish in 30 minutes? And just keep going at it. Because clutter it accumulates in the corners, right? And if we don't address it, it gets bigger. And when you do go through your stuff, you can start putting like things together. Because a lot of us have things in multiple places, and once we put them all together, we realize how many we have. And think about, would I buy this again? Because a lot of times we buy things for future us, and we hang on to things for past us. A lot of times this isn't who you are, it's just stuff stuck in your house. And maybe you are stuck in the past. Maybe you have stuff from past relationships, past businesses, past craft projects. They're no longer you, but you hang on to them just in case. When you let go of things, you make room for the future you, the one that's coming, the most amazing version of you. Maybe you can phone a friend and declutter with them online. Maybe you can invite a friend over, have some adult beverages while you declutter. Or maybe it's a private thing for you that you have to go through your stuff all by yourself. But do what you can to change in your mind from a chore to something you want to do. Because when you change your mind about things, that's when the magic happens. And if you're hanging on to those things for someday, at least have them organized, right? I may not need all those cords, but at least they're all together. Some of them are labeled, so I know what they're for. And when it's time, maybe I'll go through that box again and release some more of them. If this journey is the journey for you, I would love to hear about the amazing things that you've decluttered, the things you've let go. And just remember, if you do take it to the thrift store and you happen to get sucked into the store and you look around, everything in the thrift store, at one point in time, somebody thought they needed and they spent money on it. Do you really need anything else in your life? Thank you for being part of my journey today. And if you're on a journey to declutter, I would love to hear about your successes. Let's celebrate them together. To future us, to reaching our goal of decluttering.